Hi, everybody. Welcome to another podcast. Welcome to another Sunday tune in. Right? Welcome to practically me being frank and outright regarding some of the issues that have actually come to the fore here in Jamaica, sometimes overseas. Right? All right. So today we're looking at the Jamaica Teaching Council. The Jamaican Teaching Council was actually first proposed some 20 years ago. The Jamaican Teaching Council was proposed so as to regulate or establish not only a licensing regime but practically a mechanism by which teachers are held accountable, setting particular standards in which each teacher that exists within from kindergarten, or what we call basic school, to elementary school, primary school, secondary school, tertiary school are governed by. Right? Presently, there have been a deadlock between the Jamaica Teachers Association (JTA) and the government of the day with regards to the passing of the JTC Act, or should I say bill, that would actually make it becomes law. Right? What is so bad in that? Okay, so for the past couple of months, probably about 15, 16 months, there have been uh, requests for the submission of you know ideas, or should I say points or position, by different stakeholder groups within the teaching arena within Jamaica, right? Each giving their own opinion, or giving their own pedagogical, or academic, or what I call it now, reasoning as to for or against the JTC bill. All right. Now, personally, I am not too liking the bill as it's set. The whole concept is a good concept, but the structure of the whole concept have been thwarted so as to enact punitive sanctions on teachers within the classroom, and these sanctions are coming from persons that never ever set foot within the classroom. Okay, so stakeholders within the teaching arena involve government, student, parent, uh, JTA members, teachers, and persons who rely, or should I say, are factored into the whole teaching and learning arena. Right, so you call it those persons stakeholders. Right now, let's take a little just a back into, let's look at the legal framework of being a being a lawyer. Right now, if you're going to be a lawyer in Jamaica, you first you'd have to go to university, you do your law degree, and then you would actually sit a bar exam. Then you actually be called to the bar, and you would be actually I call it now, governed by a fraternity of lawyers that are versed on the law and that are knowledgeable as to the governance of law within this jurisdiction. Right? When you look at the JTC bill, the Jamaica Teaching Council bill, right? The stakeholders involved in the JTC bill, some of them are not, and I underline that, are not associated or affiliated, or have no training whatsoever in academia, nor in anything else as far as teaching and learning. So therefore, their experience is more like an anecdotal rather than an experiential, no, or experiential or academic, right? And so you find the JTA and the government or the individuals that are pushing for the JTC bill to be passed are at loggerheads, where in which the JTA, as the Jamaica Teachers Association, as an association that actually have registered over 25,000 teachers within Jamaican space. And there's roughly probably about 28,000 teachers. So you can see that the JTA have a good chunk of teachers support, right? The JTA is asking for something in which I think that's not bad. I think it does justice to the teaching fraternity, right? They are asking for a minimum of between 75 and 80% of members of the JTC, that's the Jamaica Teaching Council, to be educators. What's so hard in that, right? Whilst in the legal fraternity or in the medical fraternity, 100% of persons within those councils are medical professional. You know, when I was attending Teachers College in the 90s, I usually do a course referred to as Education and Society. I also did a course referred to as Professionalism, right? And this points to the whole idea of whether or not teaching is a profession in Jamaica, right? Whilst in other jurisdictions, to become a teacher, you have to be licensed, and the license has a start date and an end date, right? Jamaica there and then had no licensing regime wherein it regulates who can become a teacher and who cannot, right? Thus, the debate as to whether or not teaching is a profession within Jamaica was like at the forefront of many individuals yearning to become teachers within Jamaica, right? And it's just 25 years, 26 years after going through all this training, I have actually begun to realize the rationale behind the whole reasoning as to why teaching is not considered a profession in Jamaica. And primarily so it's because too many persons not having the experience and the academic prowess are yearning to actually see what teachers should do or what teachers should not do. Most individuals who actually look at the teaching profession in Jamaica are going by merely what you call anecdotal. When I was in school, this is what the teacher usually do, and this is what the teacher usually do, and the teacher usually teach this way, and this is not how you should teach that way, right? So it's more like an anecdotal rather than experiential or academical or research based info that is being used so as to channel the way forward for practically everyone. Now, in looking at the JTC bill, and this is just the part that actually holds my attention for the longest while, and I have been wondering personally by myself, looking at some of the plausible, reasons why the JTA did not agree on the forefront as to the JTC Act, the Jamaica Teaching Council Act, or should I say bill, right? At first I was all for it, but actually looking at it as what it is and where it's heading as far as the teaching profession goes, I think this is one of the reasons why a lot of persons are opting not to enter into teaching. The JTC, to me, is developing an albatross around the necks of those persons who are considered as educators within the country of Jamaica. This albatross actually dictates, right, with an iron rod, the framework in which teachers should actually matriculate against. And as a result of this, not to say that this framework is bad, but to whom does it benefit? When looking at the framework that is being proposed by the JTC, to whom does it benefit most, right? Have you ever realized that in most part, the students seem to have more right than the teacher? Presently, as it is, there are more rules governing the teacher's standard rather than student's standard in the classroom. Whilst this might be prejudicial to many, right? Let's look at the here, for example. A student, right, can be cautioned about the hairstyle, and if he or she is adamant that the hairstyle is okay by his or her own conceptualization as to what is okay and what's not, there seems to be a middle ground as to okay then, by the authorities as to the direction in which you try. When it comes down to a teacher, right, we going off the education, the guideline rules that was established in 1980 that has not yet been changed, right? A teacher should not wear more than 2 earrings in one ears. Neither should a teacher have piercing in the nose. A teacher should not color his or her own ear. Here, right? Male teacher here should not be flat, right? Also, the appearance of the teacher should be as such that it looks, the whole list of rules as to what teachers should do or what teachers should not do in comparison to students as to what they should do and they should not do. If weighed on a scale, you will find that the teacher's list of rules and regulation governing his or her profession outweighs that of a child. And so a child can get up today and decide to attire him or herself in such a way contrary to the school rules, and if the school do desire to be steadfast in saying, okay, we are not going to be accepting that child here or whatever because of that, right? The child can move on to a next school if he or she wishes. It's a little bit difficult for the teacher to actually move on, right? It's a lot to say in regards to the governance of teaching and learning in Jamaica, because teaching and learning in Jamaica, it's as if the stakeholders that are not within the classroom, right, are staying from the outside looking in and dictating the pace in which the teacher should actually teach. Yet, the stakeholders are not providing the resources right? And at aiding in the the discipline of the pupils as they attend classes, and at helping to manage the transportation of the students, right? And at doing a lot of things, right? Coming back to the conversation with the JTC and the JTA, I agree with the JTA 100%. I think, however, it should be 100% members on the JTC Council that have some affiliation with the education system and are cognizant of the rules governing teaching and learning, rather than just having a blanket stakeholders be inclusive within, at least of stakeholders be inclusive within the list of members that are a part of the Jamaica Teaching Council, right? A parent does have a role to play within teaching and learning, but a parent that has little or no established, what can I say now, established voice within the home, how can that parent actually be a part of governance that have the power to actually yank the right of a teacher to teach from the teacher who is within the profession, that is trained and that has actually gone through several modalities of professional development that actually enhances his or her ability to actually to teach. It's a really tough situation to look at, but I guess one of the things that actually one consider, I guess the powers that be consider, is the whole idea that, listen, if I do not get some seat on that board, I will not support the education sector within Jamaica. So in a sense, it's like a blackmail, right? I disagree with the private schools, should I say, the home schools, who are saying that they should not be governed by the JTC. Right? I think that there are more governance are needed in that aspect. However, how the JTC actually, the JTC bill actually proposes it, its management, I am not too in agreement with that, because if the person doing homeschool is not an educator, right, and they are doing well in actually homeschooling their child through various means, why would you want to yank that responsibility away from them? If they are an educator, wouldn't it be a loss to the country if they be like at home teaching their own kids and not paying attention to those within the public or private system? Right, so it's a little bit difficult to conceptualize that ideology coming from the JTC bill. As far as church schools are concerned, I think that church schools have been doing well over the years, right? And there's a saying in Jamaica that says that if it's not broken, don't fix it, right? Now, should the church schools decide to separate themselves from government, making their schools private, right, and thus not support the initiatives being made by government, it will be catastrophic as far as education in Jamaica. I think that the church schools, they do deserve a seat at the table within the within the I keep on saying this, joint teachers within the Jamaica Teaching Council. I think that the church schools should have a say, since they were, well, the church actually was at the forefront in establishing a structured education system within Jamaica. The church should have a dedicated seat at the joint teachers, Jamaica Teachers Council. I keep on saying giant. This is just my opinion, and in other jurisdictions, things are worked out differently, because several countries, especially those in the West, the church and state are separated. However, you don't have church school, you have state-run schools. Anything that has to do with church, it is done privately, and monies are paid directly to the church, whom would actually utilize licensed teachers so as to manage the different classroom spaces. It's a long discussion, guys. It's a long discussion. I just hope that you actually gathered some amount of info so as to work with. Thank you very much for stopping by, guys, and welcome again to season 2 of my podcast. Yeah, I'm going personal and I'm going direct, Jamaican style. Peace out. Catch you next time. Bye bye.